latest on the bank and the China-EU relationship. Jiang Shixue, Deputy Director of the Institute of European Studies at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, joins us right now with a lot more on what's at stake for this bank. China's stake is a little less than 30% in the bank, but its voting is around 26%. Explain why that is.
Well, because China is a big economy, and according to the AIIB rules, so China should be given this kind of percentage. But just remember that when new members come in, I believe that China's share will be declining.
So a couple countries I want to mention to you. Let's start with Japan. They had talked earlier about possibly joining the bank. I know that hasn't happened, at least as the founding member, but what's the likelihood they might join in the coming months or in the next year?
I don't know. It depends on Japan's own decision. But everybody around the world believes that Japan and the U.S. should join this AIIB. But I don't know why they are so stupid not to join the AIIB.
I'm glad you said they were stupid, not me. Look, a lot of people have criticized the White House for not perhaps being more open-minded about the AIIB. And you and I probably have our own thoughts as to why the U.S. may not want to encourage members to be a part of it. But ultimately, China's going to do what it wants to do. And if they want to fund infrastructure projects and build airports and roads and bridges or whatever they decide to do, shouldn't the White House just say, sure, go ahead? Why fight it?
Yes, I think for the time being, I believe that the U.S. can only stand alongside and just have a look. And the U.S. has no decision to, how would you say, to impose its will on China and other AIIB members.
Could the White House, I know maybe it's a little early for this, but could they ultimately join the AIIB?
For the time being, I believe that the answer is no. But in the long run, I wish that the U.S. will be clever enough to change its mind.
Yeah, well, I think all of us hopes that they will be more clever. The AIIB, and then you also have the One Belt, One Road project. It's hard to not mention the two together because one is funding infrastructure projects, and the other is a massive infrastructure project. Tell us, to basically go hand in hand, right?
Yes, the AIIB can provide funds for the One Belt, One Road. As you know, this One Belt, One Road project is quite enormous and needs lots of capital in the future. So I believe that the AIIB and other banks, other international financial institutions everywhere can support One Belt, One Road.
When the World Bank says they're willing to work with the AIIB, and for those who aren't watching the history of this, they weren't necessarily all that enthusiastic before, and now that things have sort of matured a bit, they seem to be sending a bit of an olive branch. Can the two banks work together?
Yes, the answer is yes. And also the World Bank, the AIIB, and also the bank, the so-called Development Bank of Asia, and other regional institutions, even like the so-called Inter-American Development Bank,